Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World, and a very happy Tuesday to all of y'all out there. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We go live basically every single day, bringing you guys the most up-to-date content. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huppin. Right there from the Daily Blitz.blog is Mr. Christian Simpson, and my co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins. Gentlemen, welcome into the show. And, man, it is cold here in Fort Wayne, near record cold actually here in the city of Fort Wayne. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Cold.
I'm warm.
Man, get out of here with your New York ass.
Not for long. It's coming.
Yeah, not for long. It's coming, baby. It's coming.
I'm telling y'all. Okay.
Let me tell you. So I won a year of free wings today.
Nice.
They had a Wings Etc. I don't know, TJ. I don't know if you know about Wings Etc. But they have those in Indiana, out more in the East Coast area. But yeah, this is a grand opening for the one 2 minutes from my apartment, 1 minute drive, and all you had to do is be one of the first 50 people in line, and you get free wings for a year. I was number 50. I was the absolute last person.
Wow.
Right? I was number 50. I was the absolute last person. I didn't have to stand in the cold, the freezing freaking cold, for an hour and a half.
Wow. You must have really wanted those wings.
Man, I get free wings. I get 7 free wings every week for the rest of the year and next year, for an entire year. Man, that's like jackpot, man. Like, if I end up on really hard times, I can just go there and get 7 wings, eat 1 a day. Like, I'm Gucci, man.
Who eats 1 wing a day? Come on.
Come on, dude. Times get tough sometimes. But we got way off track here. But yeah, shout out to me. I won a free year of wings. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's talk about Monday Night Football as we got the Chicago Bears beating the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. They did it without scoring a single touchdown, but they did kick the game-winning field goal. Justin Fields, no touchdowns, no picks. He also led the team in rushing. DJ Moore over the century mark for him. Justin Fields did have 2 fumbles in this game, but nothing in comparison to Joshua Dobbs, who had 4 picks in this game. He did throw a touchdown at T.J. Hockenson, but this was a ugly, messy, not a great game to even watch really on TV.
Depends on who you ask. Like, if you love
defense, if you like old school black and blue division.
Yeah, if you're that type of football fan where it's like this up and down on the football field makes you want to puke, then you loved that game last night. Like I saw a couple mixed reactions to it. Like, it was, hey, this is old school, like you said, black and blue division, NFC North rivals. Like, it doesn't get any grittier or grimier than that, especially with today's NFL, right? I'm surprised we didn't see what's that, Christian, like unnecessary roughness or helmet to helmets or anything. Like, I'm surprised we didn't see none of that, or none of that was called, because we definitely saw some hits that should have been like borderline questionable.
Yeah, I mean, these refs let them play a lot in this game. But I mean, sure, yes, it was good defensive. It was also bad offense. Like, both of these teams just really could never get it going on offense. And yeah, you may like this type of football, but yeah, it wasn't a good game to watch. But Justin Fields made the plays he needed to make to win the game. That's all that really matters here. And the Bears are going to run the table and win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. I've been saying that all week at work. I was wearing my Brian Urlacher jersey, and I was wearing my Bears hat to get my free wings, and that's how I got my free wings, the Bears hat. That's what did it.
I said it to Christian earlier, and I think I said it in the group chat earlier too. The Bears won the game, but the talk this morning, all the talk from local and national media is if they lost the game. Like, should the Bears move off of Justin Fields? I'm like, I'm sorry, didn't he win last night? He won the game last night, right? His team won. He did things. He won. And the questions this morning is, should the Bears move off of Justin Fields if they keep the number 1 overall pick?
It wouldn't even be their number one overall pick. Like it would be the Carolina Panthers' number one overall pick. It's not like it'd be their pick that would be number one overall. And if the Bears continue this momentum, I mean, there's no reason they couldn't rattle off a couple wins here.
And that's exactly like that's also in the what you call it. That's also a possibility. But I'm just like those two. They just keep coming back to those two fumbles, and I'm all like, and he still won. He still won. He got the ball.
He doesn't play offensive line. Yes, he is holding the football way too long and trying to extend plays. But he won the game. I mean, you can't take anything away from him on that. He won the game.
Like the first strip sack was, that's what Danielle Hunter that's Danielle Hunter trying to be blocked by. That's Roshan Johnson trying to block Danielle Hunter.
I mean, Danielle Hunter might be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done.
And Danielle Hunter didn't make the play, but he slowed Fields down enough for the guy who actually did strip him to come through and make the play. The second one, everybody's fumbling on that. That's crown of the helmet on the ball. Everybody like 100% of the football players fumble that ball if you hit it just the same way that guy did. Also, that's on Cole Kmet because he completely just whiffed on that block.
Christian, any thoughts on this game?
Just an awful night for Joshua Dobbs. You know, he's been
that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, he just didn't have. He threw 4 interceptions, and you're not gonna win football games.
And they were all bad, and he could have thrown even more. I mean, Jalen Johnson, he had 2 that he could have walked into the end zone with.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was old school. It was hard hitting. It was low scoring. And the ones who complained about this game, they don't appreciate football. Yeah.
Any other final thoughts before we move on to game balls?
I got nothing.
Yeah, bro. Like, hey, these motherfuckers. If the Bears somehow win 7 games, this coaching staff is safe. I hate to say it.
I agree. If they win the Super Bowl, they might all save their jobs. But Luke Getsy, sometimes his play calling just makes people want to tear their hair out. Like you run those wide receiver screens over and over again. Like they're not working the first time. What makes you think they're going to work the 10th time? In the right pace. Yeah,
it was so predictable. It's like, hey, we're going to run the screen, and we're just going to flip the formation and run it the other way. And eventually, Minnesota, like we at home are like, dude, stop with the effing screens. Also,
especially if wide receivers aren't going to block for him, it's really not going to work.
Like also, the Vikings are the highest blitzing team in the league. Guess what they did most of the night?
Blitzed.
They blitzed, and it's like he just kept putting the offensive line and Fields in positions where one lineman would have to somehow block 2 guys. It's just not enough. It was just not enough protection for the guys that Flores was sending to the line. It was ridiculous.
Moving on from this, let's close the chapter on week number 12. Let's talk about game balls. And since I've been out for 2 weeks, I'm going first. And my game ball is going to Jordan Love. Absolutely outstanding game there on Thanksgiving. Most people wrote you off and thought you couldn't win this game against the Detroit Lions. Many of the rumors that they already seared the lion into the turkey. That's why they didn't give you no turkey at the end of the game. But 22 of 32 for 3 tutties. Jordan Love, hell of a game, my friend. Ball out, baby.
I should have gave him the turkey anyway. That would have made the Packers team that much better.
If you want to go down the rabbit hole, Greg Olsen maybe destroyed the only turkey they had. Go ahead, Christian.
I'm giving my game ball to the Steelers offense. They finally they get rid of Matt Canada, which was holding them back. And what do? They open up the playbook and go over 400 yards for the first time in 48 games. They didn't do that in 48 games with Matt Canada. In 49 games. They didn't do that in the 48 games with Matt Canada. Mike Tomlin knew what he was doing, and it's now a 2-team race in the AFC North between the Steelers and the Ravens.
TJ.
I got to give mine to Tommy Cutlet. I'm sorry, Tommy DeVito.
You disrespect.
Tommy DeVito basically played a role in what should be the end of two tenures in New England. The Bill Belichick era should finally come to an end, and Mac Jones should definitely ask for
Trade.
a trade, something cut. Like I don't care. Like just get me out of here. I don't care how you do it. Just get me out of here.
Moving on from week number 12, let's open up that chapter to week number 13. We got 6 teams on a bye this week: the Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, Las Vegas Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, the New York Football Giants, and those Baltimore Ravens, who may be the best team in the AFC right now. But let's talk about Thursday Night Football. We got the Dallas Cowboys welcoming in the Seattle Seahawks in a game that has a lot of playoff implications, especially when it comes to the wild card. Last time these two teams played, the Seattle Seahawks won this game 38-31. That was in 2020. How do you think this game is going to shake out, Christian?
I like Dallas here. I don't like the way this Seattle defense has been looking. Yeah, they're improved, but they're still giving up close to 26, 27 points per game. I really like what the Dallas passing attack is doing, because I told TJ the other day, they're not having Dak do too little, and they're not having him do too much. He's doing just enough, and he's playing the best football of his life right now. But my word of advice to the Dallas Cowboys is don't overlook this team, because you know who you play next weekend, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. But I like Dallas here. I think they prevail.
TJ.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas too. I think this is a similar situation to what Dallas did the first time they played Philly. I forgot who they played. Well, I think it was the Giants, right? Yeah, they played the Giants the week before, and then they go to Philly. I think it's the same situation. I think they go in, they handle their business against Seattle. I'm not gonna say
it was the Rams. They beat them 43-20.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and say they do that to Seattle, but I still think they win. I think they go in, handle biz, and get ready for Philly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a game that Dallas can't afford to lose going forward. Also, I don't think this is a game that Seattle can really afford to lose, because looking at the playoff picture, I mean, the Green Bay Packers, with that victory they just had against Detroit on Monday night, and the Viking lost, Green Bay is going to be right there. And I don't necessarily think you want to see a Green Bay Packers team in the playoffs if they do make it. This is a big game for Seattle. If they can get this game, they can really separate themselves in a wild card pack. I do not think that will be the case. I'm taking Dallas to win this game. Go Cowboys. Moving on from this game, we got a battle in the AFC South. Two teams coming off a victory. We got the Indianapolis Colts surprisingly at 6-5. Tennessee Titans finishing off getting Frank Wright fired at 4-7. This is the 16th rated offense, the 29th rated offense in the Tennessee Titans. Who wins this game? I'll go TJ. You go first.
Give me the Titans at home, but. Yeah, give me the Titans at home.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think I really like what I've seen out of the Indianapolis Colts, especially on the defensive side of the football. This is a defense that absolutely gets after it in a big way. I will take the Indianapolis Colts.
Christian. I'm with David here. I'm taking the Colts here. I don't like the way Tennessee looks defensively at times, and I think this is going to be close. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Yeah, I just like the way the Colts are playing ball right now. You know, they're taking care of the ball. I think it's going to come down to who can run the ball and who can limit the other team's running game more consistently. And I think that's going to be the Colts.
Moving on from this, we got a battle also in the AFC, but this is the AFC West versus the AFC East, as these two teams kind of limp into this matchup. We got the New England Patriots coming off losing to the New York Football Giants, and the Chargers obviously losing to the Baltimore Ravens there on Sunday Night Football. The last time these two teams played was 2 years ago, and the Patriots won this game 27-24. If I still had a lock of the week, this would be my lock of the week. I got the Chargers winning this game fairly easily.
Next game.
Next game.
From this game, we got two teams trying to bounce back from losses in week number 12. We got the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints going head-to-head. Detroit at 8-3, the New Orleans at 5-6. This game is in Caesar Superdome in New Orleans. The last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won that game 3 years ago?
The Saints did. Drew Brees was still playing for the Saints. And that's when all the concern about his arm strength was coming up. I think everybody knew at that time that was going to be his final year in the league. But I know the Saints won it, and I just remember the game being in Detroit. I don't remember what the score was.
The game was in Detroit. It was 35-29. Do you think history repeats itself?
No, not at all. I like the Lions. I think they bounce back. This is just too sporadic of an offense for the Saints. And the philosophy is simple. If you're a Lions defender, when you play the Saints, it's to do what? Bottle up number 41, Alvin Kamara. Don't let him get it going. Hit him behind the line of scrimmage and make Derek Carr take this game over, because he's shown you can't take a game over yet for New Orleans. I think the Lions bounce back. They're going to get off to a fast start. They're going to take that crowd out of the game. I like Detroit.
TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Answer the question, boy.
No, it's what you said it, man. Like the one thing the Saints got going for them is the Superdome, the home field advantage in the Superdome, and unless they come out and do what the Bears and the Packers have done and punch Detroit right in the mouth early and often, we can all agree that offensively they don't have that.
Especially with Michael Thomas being out, Chris Olave being banged up. I don't really know what his status is for this game. Down two best weapons on offense. Alvin Kamara is a good player, but he's only one guy.
Defensively, yeah, they can hang in there for a little minute, but eventually, like we always say, like teams with good defenses, the defense can only last for so long before the dams break, right? No pun intended. New Orleans, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Detroit Lions.
They clinch with this win, right? They clinch the division.
Maybe. I don't quote me. I don't think so. That seems way too far out. There's 5 weeks left of the season. No, there's no way.
They have 8 wins. The next closest guy is what? 5?
6. I don't think it's a clinching scenario. I think maybe in 2 weeks it will be. But I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. So if I'm wrong, it is what it is. But yeah, Detroit Lions, I think they bounced back off losing off Green Bay Packers. I also think they learned a lot during that game to not take as many chances, take a field goal when you have the opportunity. This is a Saints team that's just too inconsistent for me. Their offense is just way too erratic at times. Sometimes they look great. Most of the time, they look very inconsistent. Give me the Detroit Lions. From there, we got the Atlanta Falcons going into MetLife Stadium, the home of the New York Football Jets. Last time these two teams played was 2 years ago, where the Jets lost to the Falcons 27-20. I do think the result will be very similar this year, minus the high-scoring affair. I think the Falcons will win this game by a field goal, probably by 13-10. I expect this to be a very low-scoring game, as I do not trust either of these offenses right now. B.J. Robinson could have a very good game here, though. So give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I just wish these two teams, and so just to bring it back into the fold, just to make this point, the Patriots with Mac Jones, the Jets with Zach Wilson, either play those guys fully or don't play them at all. Right? Like you can't keep benching them, then bringing somebody else in, then going back to them, then benching them again, bringing some, like you can't keep doing that. Right, especially like if the goal is to tank New England, just go with Bailey Zappi for the rest of the season. It's only 5 more games. What difference does it make, right? And if you're the Jets, David brought it up yesterday. Tim Boyle is not a starting quarterback. He's not. Stop. He's not
even a backup. Like I don't
not even
understand.
A backup.
I literally do not understand how he's even in the NFL.
So
no offense to him. Like kudos to him for getting making it in the NFL. More than what any of us have done. But I don't get it.
He was being too nice. You could have left out that no offense. He was being too nice. Look,
because offense is being given. Like it is what it is. Like Shannon Sharp said a while back that Zach Wilson couldn't play dead in a horror movie. Well, what the hell is Tim Boyle? Like, just stop. I just wish they would just stop with the back and forth, like doing that to these guys. Like I understand it's a job. I get that, but these dudes are just like, what do you want them? Like, how can they show any improvement if at the slightest notion, slightest inconvenience, they got to worry about looking over their shoulder about like, damn, I missed this throw. Am I getting benched right now? Matt Jones has been.
Well, I think we've seen enough out of Zach Wilson to know that he's not the guy. I mean, they gave him every opportunity to seize this job. He just didn't do it. And I don't know who the starting quarterback of the Jets is going to be this week. So
It should be Zach. Like Tim Boyle did nothing to be like, oh, yeah, let's go with that guy going forward. Like, he did nothing. Come
Christian.
on.
I wouldn't be surprised if this game ended in a tie.
Me
This just has
either.
tie written all over it. You know what? That's what I'm gonna say. This game ends in a tie. But if I had to pick one for professional purposes, give me Atlanta because look, the Jets fans.
What you mean professional purposes? You that was professional picking the tie.
Yeah, I'm going with the tie. Next game.
Moving on from this game, we got the Arizona Cardinals going into Pittsburgh. Arizona fresh off losing to the Los Angeles Rams. Pittsburgh fresh off beating the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that game was on the road. The last time these two teams played was in 2019, December 8th, 2019. Christian, do you remember who won that matchup?
I believe the Steelers won.
The Steelers did win that matchup 23-17. How do you think this matchup shakes out in 2023?
The Steelers win. That offense, they found swagger. They have a rhythm now. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna spread the ball around. Lots of Freiermuth over the middle. George Pickens one-on-one on the perimeter, and the Cardinals' offensive line doesn't have an answer for T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and Alex Highsmith. The Steelers should just roll in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. I do not expect this to be even remotely close. Everybody said that Kyler Murray was winning. Once he comes back, watch out for the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, I ain't watching out for them. They're fine. They're not good. So their offensive line stinks. Their defense is trash. Kyler Murray's only one guy.
Kyler Murray's only one guy, and Cardinals. Yeah, come on, man. Like it's. I expect Deontay Johnson to come out and right that ship that he's on right now, because it's not a good one right now. Like they looking at you funny.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's not a good like you getting into it with Minkah Fitzpatrick in the locker room. You not hustling on the football field for a fumble. Then on top of that, you lie and say, I didn't see the fumble because I was blocking, which we all saw wasn't even remotely true. So your credibility with your team right now is borderline non-existent. And to bring up a point, like all those talented receivers that Pittsburgh has had over the years, AB, Chase Claypool, Martavis Bryant, Chase Claypool, like, they tolerate the BS until it's like, you know what, F it. It's not worth it no more. And if this is what they finna start getting out of you, come on, like you will find your place. Like you will find your residence someplace else.
Moving on from this game, we got a battle between the AFC East and the NFC East. We got the Miami Dolphins, fresh off beating the New York Jets. They're on Friday afternoon football, going into Washington, taking out the Commanders, fresh off losing to the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Last time these two teams played was in 2019, and the Commanders won this game 17-16. I do not think this will be a low-scoring affair, as the Commanders are low-key the 8th best offense in the NFL. Dolphins, obviously, number one. They win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they hung up 45 on the Commanders again this week. But I expect this to be like a 45-28 game. Like, Commanders are going to put up some points, but Dolphins win.
Sam Howell actually leads the league in passing. You know that?
He does. 3,000. Yeah, he's got over 3,000 yards.
Yeah, but Miami will win because Miami, they always play well against the struggling teams.
Yeah. This ain't the game that Riverboat Ryan This ain't the game that the house,
Potentially.
think so? You think this is it?
I mean, maybe.
Christian, you think this is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not going to call for somebody's job, but I wouldn't be shocked.
What? See, David, that's your problem. You too nice. You too nice,
Yeah,
David.
David.
I'm calling for your job. I've been doing it since the triangle days. Hey, if you deserve to get fired, you deserve to get fired. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I ain't sugarcoating a damn thing. I think this is one of those situations that Christian likes to point out, right? The bully gets bullied. Like if they can come out and punch Miami in the mouth, especially offensively or defensively. Yeah, no, defensively, like make them work. Like they take away the deep shots that Miami likes to do. They can make this interesting, especially at home.
Yeah,
I have no faith in this defense whatsoever.
That's fine. That's fine. Miami still gonna win. I'm just saying.
Moving on from this game, we're going to swing back into the AFC. We got the Denver Broncos going into NRG Bank Stadium, taking on the Houston Texans. Actually, it's just NRG Stadium. Last time these two teams played was last year. Denver escaped.
Energy company? NRG.
Yeah. They may be an energy company. That sounds right. Denver Broncos escaped with a 16-9 victory. Christian, how do you think this game shakes out?
David.
Oh, let's go. Shameless plug number one, baby.
No, look, he did it. I ain't got to do it. So
Shameless plug number one,
baby. A couple months ago, we were all laughing at Denver, giving up 70 points. Garrett Bowles.
A 70 steamer.
Yeah, Garrett Bowles, and in the locker room looking like someone stole his mama's social security card. The way he was looking and crying.
So he was tired of losing, man.
Yeah, Sean Payton was a little salty, but God, that just seems like it was so long ago. This team's won 5 in a row. They're 6-5, and look, when Russell Wilson plays well, I sing the song. His name is Russell, last name Wilson. They're playing good defense. Houston, that was a tough game for them to lose last week. You did everything to get in the field goal range, only to have that guy just come that short to missing the kick.
He hit the crossbar, man. I mean,
yeah. I preview this one tomorrow on the site. Be on the lookout for it.
And that's the dailyblitz.blog if you're not already aware. So go check out that website if you want to go check out Christian's take on this game tomorrow. This is one of those interesting games because Denver, I never saw. I mean, I thought Denver maybe could be 6-5. I didn't necessarily think they would be. I for sure didn't think Houston was going to be 6-5 at this point in the season. I thought they were firmly in a rebuild. I think this is where the Denver Broncos winning streak kind of snaps here because they've gotten away with some stuff here, and they've played some games where they didn't get the starting quarterback of other teams during this 5-game winning streak. I think the Houston Texans win this game. I think they're a playoff team this year potentially. TJ.
The train keeps on rolling for the Denver Broncos. That'll be what, 7 in a row, 6 in a row?
6 in a row.
6 in a row. Yeah, I just Christian brother. Hey, when you get embarrassed the way that they did, right? When you give up 70,
a 70 steamer,
like when you give up whatever you want to call it, when you give up 70. And your pride is questioned, your manhood is questioned, your professionalism is questioned. You got 2 ways to respond to that. You either prove them right and continue to get your ass kicked, or you do what the Broncos been doing. It's just like, God damn it, hey, line in the sand. Enough's enough. Like we got 70 dropped on us. It's hard to score 70 in Madden.
No, it ain't.
Depends on how you play. Yeah, on rookie it ain't. You out there playing on rookie, Christian?
Nah, not at all. No, it ain't.
You out there playing on rookie? It's okay.
Moving on to the first game in the late afternoon window, we got a quote unquote battle in the NFC South, featuring the 1-10 Carolina Panthers going into Raymond James Stadium, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carolina first game with Frank Wright after Frank Wright got fired. This could be the final game of man. His name is Todd Bowles is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But how do you think this one shakes out when it's all said and done? Just make I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm. Hey TJ, Swift for God and 2 white men.
Swift for God and 2 white men.
You need to stop.
From there, we got. I think this is going to be the Fox game of the week. Cleveland Browns rolling into beautiful SoFi Stadium and taking on the Los Angeles Rams. They're 5-6. Both of these teams coming off getting a victory there on Sunday, I think, right? Cleveland won? No, Cleveland lost. I'm sorry, Denver. The Rams obviously beat the Arizona Cardinals. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won that game?
It was 4 years ago, 2019.
4 years ago. You're right.
I just remember that because I previewed it on the site. It was on a Sunday night. I just remember the Rams winning.
Rams did win that game. Final score, I just clicked off of it, but yeah, they did win that game, 20-13. 4 years ago. Wow, it's pretty rare when you see a team that hasn't played each other in 4 years at this stage in the NFL.
Yeah.
But how do you see this game shaking out in 2023?
I like the Rams. I think they're in a better position, in a more unexpected position than I think a lot of people expected them to be in right now. I mean, they're on the outside looking in a very competitive NFC conference as a whole. Not saying they'll make the playoffs, but they're a lot better than I think a lot of people anticipated them to be.
TJ.
Yeah, give me the Rams. I don't like the quarterback situation and Cleveland, and I've said it time and time again. I don't care how great that defense in Cleveland is. If they constantly keep getting put on the field, the walls will fall down at some point, and that's all a quarterback like Matthew Stafford needs. Just the more opportunities he gets, the better he gets.
I'm actually going to go against both of y'all. I'm actually going to take the Cleveland Browns to win this game. They just seem to find a way to win games. Like games they have no business winning with backup quarterbacks and PJ Walker and DTR. This defense is one of the best defenses. If they had a better record, we're talking about Myles Garrett potentially for MVP conversation. I know he got banged up a little bit in that Bronco game, but I expect him to come back for this one. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I'm leaning on that defense. I think they'll run the football. The Rams are wildly inconsistent. I can never know what I'm going to get from them from week to week. Give me the Browns.
So you just going to go against the grain, huh? Why
yeah.
You gotta be...
Yeah. Moving on from this game, we got one of the better games on the slate here. We got the San Francisco 49ers going into Lincoln Financial Field, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Last time these two teams played, obviously, was the playoffs last year. Philadelphia escaped. Or I shouldn't even say escape. They just beat down San Francisco 31-7 in the NFC Championship game. This is also the game where every quarterback San Francisco had got banged up or injured and taken out of the game. Brock Purdy came in with a torn ligament in his elbow and still was able to throw. Like, it was just a bad. But how do you think these things shake out now? And Christian, I think I know what's coming, right?
Come on, David. Let's do it.
Let's go. Shameless plug number 2.
Baby.
Let's go.
Listen, I can't wait to preview this one. It seems like, San Francisco starting the year out 5-0, then losing 3 in a row, and then now what have they won? 3 in a row since everybody came back. Debo, Trent Williams, and that's the thing about Debo Samuel. He may not always light it up on a stat sheet, but he forces defenses to zoom in and key in on him. He forces defenses to adjust. Philly, say what you want about them. They're 10-1. They had to escape that game against Buffalo. Buffalo gave them all they could handle, but Philly was able to escape, and they executed when it mattered most. Got an NFC title game rematch and a potential preview, because I could see these two playing each other for the NFC. I think these are the two best teams in the NFC right now. I preview this one on Friday. Be on the lookout.
TJ. And that's on the dailyblitz.blog if you want to check out that content. TJ.
Absolutely.
This is one of those, again, I can just picture it now. If the Niners win, they exacted some revenge. I know they didn't. they beat
Philadelphia on a regular season game.
I know he did it. But I can see it now. I can see Niners fans saying um, kind of what, like, and they have a right to feel this way. If Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, maybe they do win that game. You never know, right? Because he got knocked out so early in the
In the
game.
first quarter, like the first drive, really.
Yeah, he got knocked out so early in the game. Uh, yeah, give me the Niners. Give me the Niners to win this one, mostly because Philly has been getting bailed out. They've been getting bailed out the last couple games, right? The Dallas game, you can argue they should have lost that one because they come up a couple inches short on the touch. Dallas comes up a couple inches short on the touchdown, and that comes up an inch short on the
Yeah.
on the 2 point conversion. They probably should have lost that one. Kansas City, if MVS had stick 'em on his gloves,
He ain't gonna let that go, and I'm with him.
if he had stick 'em on his gloves, they lose that one. Um, Buffalo, if the defense just gets one stop, and help Josh Allen out, who got his team the lead with
Twice.
the go ahead twice, and one of them being a go ahead field goal in regulation. Right, if the defense just gets one stop, one sack, one anything to knock them out of field goal range, Philly's not 10-1, right? Washington, you could argue they should have lost both games to Washington.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But
But I do think this is where sort of their luck, quote unquote, luck runs out. San Francisco was kind of built to stop Philadelphia. Like they have the defensive line that should be able to give this offensive line of Philadelphia fits. Like they're like their backup pass rusher, like Randy Gregory. I know Cleveland Foe didn't work out at all in Las Vegas, but as a reserve guy, you're not expecting a lot from Chase Young. I mean, they get him from nickels, pennies on the dollar. Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa. I mean, this is a potent Fred Greenlaw, Fred Warner. I'm going to take San Francisco. I think this is going to be the game where Philadelphia gets maybe exposed a little bit there. Chris McCaffrey runs all over them. Deebo Samuel has a great game. I'm taking San Francisco.
But the thing is, right, like, I can't argue like they get exposed because look at the talent that you just named off that San Fran has.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they picked up scrap heap players, teams that were like just getting rid of, and they've built up a team that's basically has no weaknesses whatsoever right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take San Francisco. I think the talent on San Francisco is going to be overwhelming for the Philadelphia Eagles, but this should be one of the better games of the year.
Yeah.
Moving on to this, we got Sunday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Green Bay Packers. Patrick Mahomes going up against Jordan Love 2.0. Last time these two teams played was last season, and Kansas City won that game 17-10. And Jordan Love, I think it was his first NFL start.
First NFL start. Yep.
But now he has basically 11 games under his belt. 12 if you include that game last year. But how do you think this one's going to shake out, Christian?
I like Kansas City. The Packers' run defense can be really iffy at times and very inconsistent. And I think Isaiah Pacheco could have a big day. And continue to watch for Rashee Rice. I think this is going to be the guy that can emerge as that pass catcher outside of Travis Kelce. I like the Chiefs, but Green Bay could make it interesting because Green Bay's playing better.
They damn well could.
So this is a must-win game for Green Bay. I think if they want to stay relevant in the NFC, they have to win this game. But I do not think they will. I think Kansas City will expose their defense too. That hasn't been particularly good this season. They did beat Detroit, but like they still gave up a lot of yards and a lot. Detroit just turned the ball over a ton. Like if they don't have those turnovers, they probably win that game. I'm going to take Kansas City. I think the offense is going to get clicking here. This Green Bay defense, I don't think is that good. Give me Kansas City.
I disagree, David. I think that Green Bay defense is one of those defenses that's very good. That's just not being talked about enough because they got players on that team that can make life a living hell. Right? I'm not going to disrespect Sean Gary like that. I'm not going to disrespect the Devondre Campbell.
I mean, Jair Alexander hasn't played much this season, but he's one of the top 10, top 3 corners in the NFL.
When healthy, absolutely. I'm not going to disrespect Preston Smith like that. They got guys that could very well make, and the one weakness that the Kansas City Chiefs has is their offensive line and those, especially those tackles. All right, so I would line up my best, whoever you call the Packers' best pass rusher is, whoever that is. I'm lining him up right over that right tackle, the one that has to get a 10-yard head start to block somebody. And I'm lining him up over him all game and say, hey, what's his name? Jawan Jones? I think that's his name. That's the right tackle to get all the penalties.
Jawan Taylor. And every time there's an issue on the Kansas City Chiefs line, he's either committing false start or he's holding somebody. Dang, look, he ain't too big to get his ass taken down. I kick him in the kneecap.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs, right? Because Christian said it yesterday. As long as Mahomes is back there taking them snaps, they gonna always have a chance. They're gonna always have a chance.
And then to the final game, we got Monday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, this matchup was made more intriguing about 2 weeks ago or so before Joe Burrow got hurt. But now we got, I don't even remember what the name of it, Jake Browning. Jake Browning. Cincinnati Bengals coming in, losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home in Duval County, fresh off beating the Houston Texans. The last time these two teams played was 2 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won that game?
Cincinnati won that, and it was on a Thursday night.
Yes, they won by a field goal.
You also got to keep in mind, 2 years ago, the Jags went like 1-15 or some shit like that.
Yeah, 24-21. Urban Meyer was still the head coach of this football team. Times had certainly changed. With that being said, taking Jacksonville Jaguars. This is just a different team this season. They're in the hunt to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. They benefit a lot by the fact that they have one of the worst divisions in the NFL. But I will take Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know
and that was tonight's episode of The Prime for David On Point.
Yep.
I am Christian Simpson. Gentlemen, what do we do here at The Prime, my friends?
We bring the heat, baby. And we can use it here. We can use it here in Fort Wayne, that's for sure. You're not supposed to warm up here tomorrow. But we all going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thank you very much for checking us out here at Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. I'm David Huppman from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson, and my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. I'm not going to do it again, but thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on the show.
That was funny, Christian.
I enjoyed that. The fantasy football show will be moved to Thursday as I'm going to a concert tomorrow, so I'll be unavailable to run the show. But thank you very much for checking us out. We'll be back here on Thursday. You all be safe. Take care.
Quick, before we go, David, shout out to NIU alum Jordan Lynch. Just coached Mount Carmel to another state title.
Let's go. His alma mater. That's where he went to high school.
Yeah, his alma mater. That's where he went to high school. Because I remember a couple years ago when he got the job, it wasn't met too warmly by Mount Carmel fans. But all he's done since then is just win just constantly. It's whatever. Yeah.
But we'll be back here on Thursday. You all have a good week and be safe out there. You all take care and try to stay warm out there. Christian, hopefully this weather's not coming your way.
It's not. I'm just gonna keep saying it. It's not.
Hey, hold on. Like he might be right because I was at the shop with the car today, and they had the weather checker on for whatever reason. It has not snowed in New York and that region in almost 2 years. They have not gotten more than an inch of snow in a very long time.
Whatever. We'll see you guys all on Thursday. Take it easy. Peace out.
He just jealous. That's all.